I have planned this session for you in terms of discussing how great leaders work out their campaigns. So I'm going to share that with you. Campaign is a very simple thing. It is a communication process where you find a right message, you give this right message to the right target audience, to the right voters, and you have to repeat this message again and again to them so that it registers in their mind. That's all in the most simplest language. This is a political campaign. Okay. Now, what happens is यूजुअली जितना सिंपल मैंने इसको बताया, जितना सिंपल ये है, इन एग्जीक्यूशन कैंडिडेट्स एंड पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स दे आर अनेबल टू डू इट. जो चीज जितनी सिंपल दिखती है, जब हम उसको इंप्लीमेंट करने जाते हैं तो इट इज नॉट सो इजी. हाउ? लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दैट. Now the thing is, as I told you, giving the right message to the right voters and repeating the message again and again. So what are the aspects of it if you break it down, this communication process? Now, what is the right message? The first question comes. For the right voters. Now, who is the right voter? You have to find out the right voter segment, and accordingly, first of all, you have to find out the voter segment. Then you have to find out a message to them, and then see if the message has the right impact on them or not. If these three conditions are satisfied, then you repeat that message again and again to that particular voter segment. And you continue to do this exercise of finding different voter segments and having the message for each of this voter segment. This communication process you have to implement. Now, the thing is that this is where voter targeting comes into picture. In terms of finding out, a political campaign is not about getting votes. Getting votes is the outcome. Okay, in any constituency, usually what happens, we see that candidates continue to discuss that I have to get this much vote, I have to get this much vote. And they are unable to target these voters. They are unable to break these voters into different segments. And they don't plan in terms of what message should be given to whom. They go in any area, they just, give they have a speech. But why that speech? Is that speech tested? That is it for this audience? Should we include these points or not? These things are not checked out. They have not done research. Now, if we are talking about, let's say, a state level campaign, okay, a state level speech. Now, in a state level speech, you cannot have any, you should have only 1, 2, or 3 points which will cover the entire state problem. That could be education, that could be health, that could be, let's say, pollution, water problem, safety, security, women upliftment. The points which anyone, any voter, any person, if the person listens to your speech as a leader, he will connect. That should be a state level, broad speech. If as a party leader you have to make, it cannot have complexities of area into that speech. If in state level speech you are including points related to specific areas, then voters from different areas or from different region in the state, they will lose interest. They will immediately, switch off or change the channel, don't listen to you, start doing some other work. Very quickly, in fraction of seconds. Nobody has more than 30 seconds attention span. If you cannot grab the attention in 30 seconds, finished. They don't have time for you. And 30 seconds is also a lot of time. I'm saying people attention span is even less than that. Now, the thing is that, so you should have 1, 2, or 3 points. Then where you have, if you are in any specific area, then you should also include points related to that area. But it will come second in your speech. It cannot be the, 50% of your speech cannot be about the entire uh, state local problem, and then the state problem should come in the second part. It should not be. It should be vice versa. First state problem, then you have to address the local problem in a, depending on what is the audience size and what is the impact of your meeting. If it is a rally, then definitely you will try to see that this rally is covered in the whole state. Everyone is listening to you. So you cannot be very micro. Okay. Now, so this I have shared about the right message to the right voter segment. Now, next very important thing is in a campaign is to repeat this message again and again. This is something which most of the candidates, most of the leaders, they miss out upon. And now, if you have to repeat something again and again, it has to be well researched, because you will be spending a lot of your resources into that execution, into that repetitive thing. You have to create videos around it, you have to do different rallies around it, you have to prepare handouts according to it. You have to, like, your social media should reflect that, the radio campaigns should reflect that, the TV advertisement should reflect that, your, printed materials, your t-shirts, your letters, all of has to repeat the same message again and again. And without having it, without initially doing the research, you cannot spend your resources unresearched. Because one very important thing that we have to understand is that resources are limited. Nobody has unlimited resource in this world. Yeah. Whatever it is, whatever resource, what all things comprise in resource? Number one, money, time, volunteers. Only three things. It is a combination. Any resource that a leader has is a combination of three things: time, money, volunteers. Time, money, volunteer. Okay. Now you have every work that you will be doing as a part of your campaign. It has to be completed in this three things only, you will not get extra. You will not be getting extra at all. If you have 50 volunteers in your campaign, you cannot plan your campaign with 60 volunteers. And if you are suboptimally utilizing these 50 volunteers, if you are not utilizing them up to the mark, then something is going to suffer. If you send in one direction the volunteers, some other area is going to suffer. And if it is unplanned, which area you have to send your volunteers, then your campaign is going to go down. The results will not come. Simple. And time is limited. As a candidate, your time is limited. As volunteers, their time is limited, whatever they are giving to your campaign. And the entire campaign time period is limited. Probably 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, depending on at what level you are doing. Let's say party leadership is doing, then party does a campaign for 1 year. In 6 months, they are very intensive. But if a candidate is doing, candidate does it only for 2 months maximum, the active campaign period, or 3 months. Now that time is limited. You have to, you know, reach out to the right voters in that time. So if you do not know who is the right voter, and if you start that exercise when your campaign will start, then do you have the time to, reach the ones you want? This is where most of the candidates, they fail. They fail because this is where planning comes in. They have not planned their campaigns, and they start their campaign execution after when the campaign will start. When the campaign starts, from that time their planning also starts. Planning and execution, both things start at the same time. And then what happens? Then what happens is that they start targeting everyone. They are not specific. They start going wherever they go. They feel that, I have to just win over everyone. Here, this area they go, I have to win over everyone. Accordingly, they start making speeches to please everyone. Wherever whosoever is coming, they will give them, if the person says that in that particular area people are not happy, send people to those areas, send cars to those areas, send campaign resources to those areas, because they are in the zone of pleasing. And they are missing the very fundamental point, that the third part of the campaign, political campaign, that I said, the message has to be repeated again and again. In the process of pleasing, they are not repeating this message again and again, and again it will not have an impact. Your campaign will go in the downward direction. Whether you win or you lose, that again you will not have control over that. And all the time your heartbeat will duk 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 will continue even after winning. If in case you win, then also you will not be confident why you won. Yeah. And this is a very sorry state to be in. More than 75% candidates lose their election, not because the opponent is strong. They lose their election because of internal failure. What we are right now discussing, they go into pleasing the people. They don't know the right message to be given to the right voter group, and repeating this message again and again because they have not done their homework. And the homework is not about getting the ticket. Homework is not Homework does not start when your campaign starts. The homework starts much before your campaign starts. You have to do planning, political campaign planning. You have to plan your campaign. Then only when the campaign will start, you will execute your campaign. And this political campaign planning, it does not take a lot of money. It takes your time, which the candidates don't give. They just continue to go after this leader, that leader, showing their faces, being worried in their rooms, at their home, that, am I not visible? Am I not visible? Into these things, they are not doing planning. Now, what is planning? How do you plan your campaign? Right? The next question is, you plan your campaign on 6 major parameters. Now, what are those 6 major parameters on which you plan your campaign? You plan your campaign in terms of campaign research. The first and foremost, you have to do a campaign research, which is, there are different aspects of campaign research. You have to do past election research, you have to do geographic research, historic research, voter turnout research, demography research. All that comes under campaign research. Now, so first thing is campaign research. After the campaign research, you have to set a goal for your campaign. What is a goal for your campaign? Goal is, you do not target 100% votes. If there are 2 lakh voters, you do not go after 2 lakh voters. Your goal is to get 70,000 votes, which is like even less than 50%, 35% votes. You are targeting 70,000 votes. That is your goal. Your goal is not 100% votes in the election. Next, you have to, now once you have frozen upon that you have to get 70,000 votes, you have to do voter targeting, which is what? Which is like, who are these 70,000 voters who are going to vote for me? Where are they? Where do they live? What do they do? Who are in their family? What characteristics do these people have? And all these 70,000 people will not have same characteristics. You will find out that, okay, out of those 70,000, these 3,000 are youth, which are likely to vote for me. These 10,000 are women who are homemakers, who are likely to vote for me. These, again, 5,000 are the working group between the age group of 35 to 45 who work in a corporate. Those are likely to vote for me. Again, these 7,000 people, they belong to the rural community or they live in slums. They can potentially vote for me. So this is voter targeting. You have identified, you have broken this 70,000 into smaller chunks who are likely to support you, who are likely to vote for you. Next, what you do? Next, for each of these smaller chunks, you develop a campaign message. What are you going to tell them so that they will vote for you? How do they, what are you going to tell them to make them show that you are their leader? When you come to power, you will solve their these one, two, three problems. And this is how you engage. This is what you do for each of these groups. For each of these smaller groups, you have to develop this campaign message. And then what comes next? Next is you have to develop voter contact plan, which is the campaign plan. The message that you have developed, you have to convey this message to that particular group, and conveying that message is not a one-time activity. Probably you do smaller meetings, area-wise meetings, so that you reach each of them. Then again, in one conversation, they will not, they may listen, but it will not get registered in their minds. You have to repeat this message again and again and again. That is what is a campaign plan. Developing a voter contact plan is developing a campaign for that group to repeat that message again and again in different ways. How? Just as an example, suppose you want to tell the youth that you are going to make them skilled. Okay? Skilled in terms of vocational education, vocational skills, so that it will increase their employability. So what you will do for that? You will set up camps where you will collect the information of the youth, where till what level they have studied, what is their age, what kind of profession do they want to pursue. You have to collect these information. This information collection will give them a message that yes, this person is working for me. So this is what is a voter contact plan, voter campaign plan, okay, for every group. Then the last thing is making it happen. This is where the campaign comes in. The last 2 to 3 months as a candidate, and let's say 7, 8 months as a party, or 1 year as a party. This campaign implementation starts in step 6, making it happen. Till that, from 1 to 5 is planning, campaign planning, planning. Okay? This is where the candidates fail. They just jump into step 6, making it happen. And what happens? Nothing happens. Then, are you with me? Yes, no, maybe, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Everyone, are you with me?
Yes.
Great, great. Now, the thing is that is where I recommend you that you join political campaign planning program, because the where what is the purpose of political campaign planning program? The purpose of political campaign planning program is to enable you to do step number 1 to 6 on paper. It will make you do steps 1 to 6 on paper, so that when actually You have to do your campaign, which is step number 6. You will already have a plan in place, and nobody else is going to do this for you. You have to do it. You can hire teams which will help you do this. Okay, all sorts of teams. You can get funds from people who will donate in your campaigns, but again, where those funds have to be used, where those teams have to be used, that you have to decide. And that will be decided only if you have a campaign plan in place. It cannot, whatever resources you have, limited resources, it will help you plan, spend those resources. Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, for this specific purpose, I have designed political campaign planning program, which will help you do step number 1 to 6. I am sharing the link of that in chat window. And if you watch my YouTube videos, then in the YouTube video, also in the description, the link is given. This program, what this program has detailed questionnaires that will help you in doing the planning. It is a workbook. It is a workbook which once there is question, for that question you will write your answer. Then there is next question, topic wise question answer. Very practical, oriented to your campaign. When you will start doing this, you will have your campaign plan in place. You will have your campaign plan in place, which you will refer during your campaign, and which within your team you can share, core team, so that your campaign manager and you both are on same page. Somebody joins your campaign 2 months down the election, to let's say 15 days before the election, you will share the plan with him. He will be on same page. That is where you create a team of 1 plus 1 equal to 11. Yeah. The program is for 10,000 rupees lifetime access and a support system. I am there in weekly meetings. We help you implement the program wherever you are stuck. Then next, there is a vibrant community of other people who are like-minded people, who are campaign participants, who will help you in implementation. It's a teamwork. I am one, I will help you. At the same time, there are other participants who will also help you in the implementation. Ganesh ji is there, Rishabh is there, Karan is there, and there are other participants like these three are here right now from the program. There are other participants as well. They are politicians, they are consultants, they are um, election strategists who will help you in implementation of the program, where you can discuss, because this is a like-minded community. You will have lifetime access to this like-minded community for implementation. And trust me, more than 75% candidates lose their election, as I told you in the beginning, not because their opponents are very strong, not because of their opponents, but because of internal failure. Their campaigns peak early. Their resources get finished because of unplanning. They go into pleasing people. and not repeating the message. In all these scenarios, opponents don't come into picture. It is all you who is doing blunder after blunder after blunder in preparing your biodata to be submitted to the party. You don't know what to include in your biodata, how the biodata will be effective. The program comes with a 7 days money back guarantee, 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. If you join the program, you think that this is not covering what I want, take 100% money back refund, no questions asked. Not even 80% refund, but 100% money back guarantee. Take 100% money, go back, fine. It is not suiting you, fine, no problem with it. Yeah. Do ask your questions. I have shared the link of the program in the chat window, in the YouTube, in the video descriptions, you will find it. Yeah.